I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a...
In the world of BTS, nothing really escapes the keen eyes of ARMY. Every gesture, every look, and every smile between members means so much more than what it appears on the surface. However, nothing has captured the public's attention and shaken up the fandom like the moment when Taehyung, a figure who has been known to be calm, warm, and full of charisma, showed such striking signals of jealousy, and all because of Jungkook. What actually happened? It all started at a public event, where the members performed with energy and smiles. However, amidst the stage noise and camera lights, a surprising interaction took place. Jungkook, who was looking so cheerful that night, was caught on camera talking to a female celebrity with a very familiar gesture. His smile was wide, his eyes were shining, and his body was leaning towards the other person. The interaction only lasted a few minutes, but it was enough to make ARMY take their eyes off of everything and start paying attention to another person who caught their attention that night, Kim Taehyung. And this is where the story takes an unexpected turn. Taehyung, who initially also seemed relaxed and enjoying the atmosphere, suddenly showed a different expression. Not anger, not frustration, but something much more subtle, more piercing an expression that only those who knew him well could recognize. Her eyes, which usually sparkled with curiosity, suddenly lost their light. His lips pursed, his body pulled back slightly, and there was a pause in the way he gazed at Jungkook, a look that held many unspoken words. Taehyung jealous? This question instantly resonated in the hearts of millions of ARMYs around the world. And soon, hashtags like #JealousTae, #TaekookTension, and #Jungkook What You Doing flooded Twitter and other fanbase communities. For those who have followed Taekook's journey over the years, this moment is not just another interaction. It's part of a long, nuanced story. Taehyung and Jungkook, two figures who seem to orbit each other in the same space, but sometimes on different frequencies. They laugh together, lean on each other, tease each other, and sometimes push each other away in silence. But out of all those dynamics, one thing was always clear. The connection between them couldn't be faked. And that night, that connection was shaken. Someone captured an image of Taehyung standing with his arms crossed in front of his chest, staring into the distance. Behind him, Jungkook was still talking, unaware that his closest friend's expression had changed drastically. To the average person, this might just be a small moment. But for ARMYs, it's an emotional drama so powerful, so real. Taehyung's jealousy is not because of possessiveness, but because of the depth of feelings that cannot always be expressed in words. Is this the first time Taehyung has shown this side? Of course not. There have been many moments in BTS history where he has been seen paying close attention to Jungkook. From simply looking at Jungkook while laughing with other members, to subtle reactions when Jungkook chose to sit next to someone else during a meal. But this time, the intensity is different. There was a deeper, more profound emotion. It was as if there was an unfinished story, a feeling that was never really said. Fans began to make theories. Some compared this moment to Taekook's past interactions, where Jungkook seemed very protective of Taehyung and vice versa. Others suggested that maybe this was just part of their ever-changing relationship, colorful, full of surprises. But clearly, the night had left a deep emotional mark on all who witnessed it. And did Jungkook realize it? Hours after the show, backstage footage began to surface from fan sites. In one of the viral videos, Jungkook can be seen approaching Taehyung, who is sitting alone while playing with the ends of his sleeves, a habit he often does when he is uncomfortable. Jungkook approached, looked down slightly, then whispered something. At first glance, Taehyung gave no reaction. But then, a small smile began to appear. A faint smile, like a sign that everything was going to be okay. A few seconds later, Jungkook tapped Taehyung lightly on the shoulder. And for some reason, that moment felt like reconciliation. Not an apology in words, but in a simple gesture that conveyed 1,000 meanings. They spoke quietly, chuckled, and finally walked side by side back to the dressing room as if there had never been any distance between them. And herein lies the beauty of Taekook's relationship. They are not just two idols with stunning visuals and incredible talent. They are two humans with real emotions. They feel, they hurt, they get jealous, and they learn to understand each other. Their love and care is not always shown in words, but in the way they take care of each other, even when the cameras are no longer rolling.
Fans know that this moment is not just a momentary drama. It's part of a long narrative about two people who grew up together, experienced a world so big and stressful, but still found a way to come back to each other. And it's precisely from fragile moments like this that their relationship feels more real. He got jealous because he cares. This line began to circulate widely among the ARMY community. And it's true. Jealousy is proof that something matters. Taehyung is not the type to show emotion carelessly. When he's jealous, it means there's a small wound accidentally made by the person he trusts the most. And Jungkook? He may not always realize the effects of his actions, but he always knows how to come back. He knows when to get close, when to stay quiet, and when to say enough with a touch. Their relationship is not without conflict, but it's in those conflicts that you can see how deep their feelings are. Jealousy, in Taekook's world, is not about possession. It's about connections that are too precious to ignore, about feelings so deep that even a smile from another person can feel like a threat. And that's why this moment shook fans so much. Because behind all the visual perfection, stunning performances, and excitement of the K-pop world, there are two hearts trying to understand each other. Two hearts that aren't perfect, but are trying. Two souls that grow together. Taehyung got jealous, yes, but not because he was weak. It was because he was too strong to pretend. And Jungkook? Maybe he learned something that night. That sometimes, one small interaction can shift the emotional balance of those closest to us. But most importantly, he chose to come back. To look at Taehyung again. To fix something that was invisible but felt real. And the fans? They can only observe, love, and hope that in this ongoing story, Taekook will continue to find his way to each other. In joy and sorrow, in laughter and jealousy. Because their story is too precious to stop.